Y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could, please like, share, subscribe. Y'all, we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at NVDA today. And as you can see, we closed at 170.78. I always say, where are the trouble places? It's like immediately we go to the gathering spot or the consolidation area here. We have support at around the 172.35, resistance here at 172.84. So it's kind of trading in this zone here, right? So where are the trouble places? We will need to break beyond the 172.84 only to possibly have trouble again, 173.15, and I do believe we can mark that. 173.15 could be a trouble place here for us, and if we break that level, we could possibly have trouble again here at the 173.49. So those are going to be trouble places to the upside for NVIDIA, as we are have been making new highs. Let's say that. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under right now that 20 EMA seems to be holding us up. Let's say that 172.58. It looks as if we're trying to break beyond that. Now we could very well come back to this level and find support at 172.35. Breaking that, y'all see something stopped us here at this level of 172.16. So we could very well come back to this area as support. Breaking that brings us back to 171.96. Now should we break that, we're going to use that 50 EMA. 171.73 could be a support area for us. Now breaking that, we have a few layers of support here down at the 171.45 down to the 171, let's say the 29 area, and in between that the ATR trailing stop. So in my opinion, that could be a strong area of support for NVIDIA. Again, not financial advice. So breaking this level, we could very well come back to the 170.92, and breaking that level, we can come back to the 170.71. Now should we break that, we have the next level at 169.88, and breaking that brings us back to around the 169.55 area. Something stopped us or in this area here. So breaking that brings us back to 169.07. Those are trouble places for NVIDIA as of right now, y'all. It's such an interesting time in the market, let me say that. So if you're trading NVIDIA today, those are areas of support and resistance. Again, y'all, not financial advice. Now the SPY, it has been making new highs, right? We closed at 634.21. We had a high of yesterday, 635.40. Interesting, right? But it seems as if we're just trading in that little gathering spot, as I like to say, or the consolidation area here. So where are the trouble places for the SPY as of right now? It seems as if price has been finding support at this 634.36 area. Resistance is somewhere around this level of 634.85. So it too has been trading in this little zone, or as I like to say, right? So where the trouble places to the upside, we would need to break back above the 634.85, only to possibly have trouble, let's say, at the 635.04 area and breaking that 635.40. And should we break that, we can continue to make new highs. Let's say that. Now back to the downside for the SPY under 634.36. Something stopped us down here in this area here around the 633.96 area. We can see it. Let's see. 633, yes, around this area here. There, we're having technical difficulties. Something stopped us here and here, so that's definitely something we need to pay very close attention to. So that's the 633.93 area. Now should we break that, the ATR trailing stop is around the 633.38 area. Now should we break that, we could very well come back to around 632.52, and breaking that brings us back to the 631.76. Breaking that, there's a few layers of support here, y'all, at the 631.54, 631.33, 631.33, and this level here of 630.96. Should we break that, 630.79, and again 630.39? As you can see here, there's a few layers. I need to get that off, thank you. We have a few layers of support here around that 200 EMA down to from the 630.45 down to the 630.20. That could be a strong area of support for the SPY today. Now breaking that, we could very well come back to 629.80, 629.48, 629.14, 628.79, and 628.39. So those are areas of support and resistance for the SPY as of right now. And y'all know I say it often, in this market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Yes, we are looking at Tesla, and my Tesla charts are just extremely, just a lot of, I would say, congestion, let's say that, right? But I've been charting Tesla for a while, and you see we had a nice decline on yesterday. And what's interesting is I kind of knew that if we came back to this level, where our trouble places could be, right? Let me see if I can get that right for us. There we are. Okay, so Tesla closed at 332.56. We had a pre-market low thus far of 309, which is not far from this level that I had marked at 309.30. We have, this candle is 309.40. Interesting, right? And here's another example of that Tesla coming down to an area here, 310.56, right here, 311.31. It just lets me know that where, I try to pay attention to support and resistance, where we stopped. Why did we stop at those areas? Just charting tips, y'all. So where are the trouble places as of now for Tesla? It seems like it's trading in this little area here. Support could be around the 312.11. Resistance is here, 312.82. We've been having trouble in this area before, so we need to break this level. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble 313.20. 313.45, not far away, 313.71, 313.86, and 314.07. So from this level of 313.26 up to the 314.07 could be a rejection area for Tesla. Now breaking that, we could possibly have trouble at 314.20. That is the 20 EMA as of now. Now breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble again at this 314.90 area. We see that price was here. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble 315.31. Now should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again, 315.96, 316.50, 316.98, breaking that 316.98 area, 317.61, which, that kind of brings us back to a zone that we were trading in previously. So that would be interesting, getting back above this level here of 316.98. It was a strong support area. I'm going to see if I can bring that down. It was a strong support area for us before, so getting back to the upside, it will be a strong resistance in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. So where are the trouble places for Tesla as of right now? If we should break under this level 312.04, we could very well come back again, 311.76, 311.50, 311.31, 311.14, 310.94. So 310.94. So all of these areas here from 311.76 down to the 310.94, we could very well get stopped out. Again, not financial advice. So however, if we should break this area of 310.94, we could come back to this 310.55. We've been here before, right? So breaking that level, 310.27, 310.07, 309.92, breaking that brings us back to around the 309.30 is what I have. We stopped at 309.40. However, breaking this, that means we've lost an area up that once held us up. We could very well come back to 309.05, 308.47, 308.07, and again 307.60. So if you're trading Tesla today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. And y'all know I say it often, in this market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at Meta. We closed at 713.58 as of now. The rejection area is around the 718.63. Should we break that, we can come back to that 720 area. And should we break the 720, the next level I have is at the 722.15. However, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in between this area here. Breaking that 722.15 for Meta today. 722.93 could be a rejection area for us. So breaking that 722.93, have 723.81, and breaking that level 725.53. But keep in mind, we can get stopped out in this area. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. Now breaking this level of 725.46, the next level is 726.99 that we could possibly have trouble. Now back to the downside, let's say we break under this level. Is what's really holding us up as of now. 717.04, breaking that brings us back to 716.54. 716.64, and under that level 715.58, breaking that 714.77. In my opinion, there's a lot of layers of support here, so breaking that brings us back to, I would use the ATR trailing stop, which is around the 713.71, and as we see, the 50 EMA is in between that also. So breaking this level 713.71 for Meta, we've broken through a few layers of support. Now breaking that, we can come back to around the 712.86. Now should we break that 712.03 and breaking that level 711.27, 710.80 is the 200 EMA as of now, and should we break that, we could very well come back to 709.86, breaking that 709.86 today, 708.71, and should we break that, we could come back to around the 706.90. Again, it's going to be an interesting day in the market. Meta is an inside day candle, and we've already broken through that trigger, which would have been that 714.52. The target for today was the 716.54, and as you can see, we've made a pre-market high of 719, so we have already reached that target, broken through the trigger, and reached that target for today. Now let's look to the downside. Now if by chance we break under the 704.83 for Meta today, we could very well come back and reach the target at 701.44. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say it often, y'all, mark your levels, and once it goes against your Y, get out. I say live to trade another day, right? So Amazon is also an inside day for today, meaning if it break beyond, which we've already broken through that pre-market, again, the level was 228.80. Target for Amazon today was 230.04. We've made a target today, pre-market high of 230.24 here. Now back to the downside, because we are trading in a zone, or the gathering spot as I like to say. Now should we break back to the downside, let's say we come under the 227.05, downside target for Amazon today is 227.31. So if Amazon is something that you trade today, it is an inside day candle, I say trade carefully. We are now looking at AMD. We closed at 158.65, and it too seems to be trading sideways or in this little gathering spot. As of now, resistance is around the 160.74, or was around 160.74. Support seems to be now at this 160. Looks as if we're breaking that, right? So let's use the 159.87 as a support area. Let's go back to the upside. If by chance we break back above 160.75, 161.02, 161.34, breaking that 161.34 for AMD today, we could possibly have trouble again. 161.97, 162.32, breaking that 162.32, 162.72 could be a rejection area for us. Now breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again. 163.13, and here again at 163.69. Now to the downside for AMD, as of now, this is our area of support, 159.87. Breaking that, the next level is 159.52. You see I have that level marked, and where the 50 EMA is, I like to see that. Breaking that brings us back to the level here, 159.18, and the ATR trailing stop is 159.17. Very, very close, y'all. I just like to see that, right? So should we break that 159.18 for AMD today, we could very well come back to 158.50 again here at 158.23, 157.61, 157.29, which the 200 EMA is in between that at 157.45, breaking that 156 or 157 area, and should we break that 156.75. So if AMD is something that you trade today, y'all, I say it so often, trade carefully. Listen, there's so many ways to trade the market, and what's challenging is what, trying to find a strategy that works best for you, and then for you to have the discipline to execute your plan, y'all. So this is what I see when I look at the market, and today will be an interesting day as always, right? So if you're trading today, I say it often, mark your levels, have a plan going in. And once it goes against your why, get out. Make sure you have the discipline to do so. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe. Y'all, we learn and we grow together. With that being said, until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.